Welcome to another edition of the 99 Second Story Slam. Mary, we started this last August. We're still doing this, huh?
It's fabulous.
Fabulous.
It's fabulous. I mean, things have opened up, but we're still doing this because everybody is so enthusiastic about it.
This is season 5, Slam 1, which means we've had 4 Grand Slam champions. One, maybe 2 of them are here this evening. We have a couple of first timers, which is always great. Love first timers. I see some familiar names. What's a question we should ask people other than where are you that we could put in the chat while we kill some time here before the first tellers go?
Gosh, I really love where are you?
Fine, that's it.
You know, I think that's what we should ask.
Do it.
All right,
Put it in the chat.
Where is everyone from?
Or maybe someone here, whether they're a teller or not, can put their own question in the chat and people can answer.
That's a good one.
Look at Kurt Mullen. He's all excited. Who knows why? Maybe he's got a question.
Yeah.
Do you see some familiar names? So while we have a few minutes here, I want to say hello to Kurt. Hello to Kate. We know Kate, who Kate's voting for. Hi, Dottie. Nikki here. We know who Nikki's voting for. I love like seeing names and you know they came for one person and you know they're going to vote for them. That's fine.
It's fine.
Now look, we say this all the time. Vote for the story, not the storyteller. Of course, if your best friend's here, you're probably going to vote for them. But I'm going to say it. And there's also other sections that your friend won't be in there or your spouse.
That's right.
So just trying to keep it as fair as possible. I'll go over this in a moment of how it works. I think many people here have told stories with us or have seen this before, but do not worry, do not fret. I shall go over the basics once again. We've got 14 storytellers, which means we will have 14 stories in round 1. And then we usually have 6 stories in round 2, and we're going to keep that going. So that means there will be a total of 20 new 99-second stories, which is going into a bank I have been collecting, and I don't know what to do with it.
You'll get inspired.
I'll get inspired to do something with it.
You will.
People are sharing with us, Mary, where they are. Now, just to be clear, does everyone know where you are?
Oh no, I'm right outside of Boston, Massachusetts, and I see Dottie's a Massachusetts person. Kurt is Massachusetts. I know Andrew. Yeah, we represent.
You got to represent. I see a few names that I haven't seen in a while. I see, for example, Chris. She's in Houston, I believe.
Yeah.
And I like, you know how it is with me. Like David Levy's in Cincinnati. Okay. He might be a Bengals fan. I'm not sure. I see Ann Perky, who sometimes is a sacrificial teller here. Not tonight. She's in Chicago. So, hey, and we've got tellers, 14 of them. We've got from all time zones. And tonight we even have somebody across the pond in the UK.
Oh, how fabulous.
So that's fun, right?
We're reaching far and wide.
A couple new storytellers to the 99, a couple of champions here at the 99. Good human beings. You know what? When I say that, I actually don't know some of them. They might be rotten human beings, to be fair. But I am going to assume they're decent human beings.
I would too. Why would they be here if they weren't? They wouldn't be here if they weren't.
I'm not buying that. The winner this evening will get a prize. That prize is not valued at $99. It is $99. None of this valued crap. No. I'm not giving you something valued at $99 so I can sell you something that no. You're going to get $99. It could be in Venmo. It could be a check. There's somebody on here right now. I sent a check to her. She knows who she is. She doesn't do Venmo. She doesn't do PayPal. I had to write Mary. I literally wrote out a fucking check. Wow. When was the last time you wrote out a check? Like 2011, right?
It's been a while. It's definitely been
once a month for my rent because the service fee if you pay online.
All right. You know, this is your guest judge tonight. Good luck. This is your judge. This is your guest judge. And no, but I wasn't even done with my little my like
your rants, your little
second
rants.
Story, and it's not a story, but I wrote the check. I love her. She's great, and I'm happy to do it. But here's what I did. I actually went to the post office. When was the last time you went to the post office?
Oh, that's been a while too.
Right. No. So I wrote a check, went to the post office, both experiences. I was like, oh my God, this is a bit of a flash in the past. This is like a new, old thing.
Old is new. That's what they
There's
say.
no ending to that story. All right. That's why stories shouldn't be anecdotes. They should be stories.
Stories. Right. That was a good example, Sean.
Do anecdotes sometimes win here? Yes, they do.
Sure.
I'm not the judge, but well, no, I'm not. You are.
That's true. I am.
Mary, Jo Pollack is, and everybody who's not a storyteller is. And actually, In fact, the tellers are the judges because they all vote.
That's true. We're all judges.
They're probably voting for themselves sometimes or when they can, and then they will have votes as well. And I don't have much else to say other than this to both the tellers and the audience. Thank you for being here. Mary, it's not easy getting people to show up to things. It's getting hard. It's great that they're here.
They're here. It's amazing.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like people could be doing a lot of things right now.
And they join us.
And they're here for the next, and this is only going to be about 75, 80 minutes, max 90 if I talk too much. And when I do, Mary will tell me to stop talking. I'm going to pull names from the hat. The first 2 sections of round 1 will be 4 names. The next 2 will be 3 names. That means we do have 2 spots. So if you are inspired to tell a story with us this evening, you have time, let me know, shoot a message. Probably the easiest thing to do is just message me right in the chat, just directly to me. And everybody else, you'll be on mute. If you're not, would you please mute yourselves? And then when I call your name, you will unmute, take your time, and really take your time. The clock starts when you start and the clock stops when you clearly stop. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I will say to our audience and anybody voting, look, the goal here is for people to tell stories, not poems, not spoken word, but it's your vote. The only disqualifier is time. They'll know that afterwards when Queen Mary doesn't read her blurb, which she will do after the stories and just before you vote to remind you of what you heard. But look, if it's a poem, that's cool. If it's a song, that's great. If they belly dance, it's amazing.
Ooh.
It's just not what this show is really about. So please reward people who tell stories. Those stories should be true and personal. You get to decide that. And ideally, they're not reading from notes. That's the spirit of the event. Again, if somebody's doing that and you want to vote for them, you can do that.
Sure.
You can do that. We're not going to know who you vote for.
No.
That's the way we set it up. I don't want to know.
No.
Might get upset. I don't want to get upset.
Uh-oh.
Sunday night.
Right.
I have a little bourbon. It's what I do.
Oh, bourbon's nice.
Ask me if it's working out. It's not.
It's not yet. Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
Give it time.
We're going to pull the first names in.
Woo.
So what you'll hear is the names, and then each teller will come up and tell their story. Just so you know, I do this at 80 seconds. That's really for the storyteller. So they know they have to wrap it up within around 19 seconds. After the 3 or 4 storytellers go, if you at or under time, Mary will read a little summary and then I will launch a poll and we will repeat that. And at the end of round 1, the 4 section winners will go through. Mary will put someone through and Jo Pollack will put someone through. And we'll have 6 finalists. And probably in between, we'll take a few minutes and then we'll start up again. Mary, you know, I always ask you this. Did I miss anything? Did I leave something important out here?
I think, did you say have fun? Because I don't know.
Can you do that?
I have something to say, maybe. Ronna, like half your screen is white.
All right. Don't do what Ronna's doing.
She has something over the camera.
Yeah. Just so you know, I'm going to be mixing these names up. These are your names, okay? I'm going to mix them up. I don't plan this. I just pick the names. There have been what have been known as groups of death. This is a soccer term. It's a football term from the World Cup, which means 4 like Grand Slam champs or slam, and they're in the same group, and it happens. Out of my control. Okay?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Makes it exciting. Makes it exciting.
I am glad, Mary and Jo, that you're joining me, and I am glad that our tellers and our audience are here. Without further ado, let me put all the 14 names into the Peruvian hat.
The Peruvian hat's back.
Yay!
Oh, that's exciting.
Everyone, it's back. Okay. I had an experiment last time with a non-Peruvian hat. The show was fine, but I just had a shame spiral. I had to get the hat back, and I'm just saying, no, you go back to what's worked.
Is that right?
Go back to what works. All right. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 names, and I'm mixing them up. And I will tell you right now, our first group might be a group of death.
Ooh.
I don't know why it's that expression. I don't love it. It's just kind of what it is. Here we go. In this order. And if you are here and you are telling a story, get ready, because your name might be called momentarily. Here we go. Storyteller number 1 is Steph Rogers. Storyteller number 2 is Tina McKenna. Storyteller number 3 is Cheddar Galloway. And storyteller number 4 is Neshama Franklin. So, Steph, Tina, Cheddar, Neshama, Steph, you have unmuted. I am going to spotlight you, and this show has officially begun.
It's December of 2017, and I am amazed to see who is calling. Jay. Oh my fucking God, Jay. I haven't heard from Jay in well over 2 decades. He was this explosion of fun. We were really close friends who became lovers, 2 artsy high schoolers who loved the Talking Heads and Sex on the Beach. And it is utterly amazing to me that he is calling because his wife despises me. She's never met me, but she knows a little too much. And I pick up before the second ring, and Jay says, "My brother is dead." And I say, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. And I know we shouldn't be talking. We're not allowed to be talking." But he's devastated and he is alone and he's driving from New York to Las Vegas to go be with his poor mother. And we remember, we reminisce. We talk about that time in New York, that time in Joshua Tree, the parties at his parents' house. And he confesses that his marriage is having problems. And I say, "Yeah, me too." And he says, "I miss you." And I say, "Me too." And then I remember how I used to feel special. So we start texting more and more, and he calls again. And then when he's on his way back from Las Vegas to New York, he stops through Chicago and he shows up at my house with a bunch of friends of ours from high school. And it's awesome. But we both know the truth, that we're going to work things out with our respective spouses. We're committed to our marriages. Marriage has its ups and downs. But before he leaves, he whispers in my ear, "I've always loved you." And I say, "Me too."
Thank you, Steph Rogers, leading it off. Steph lives in Chicago. We will have an opportunity for Steph to talk all about her stuff in a little bit because she has got a lot of stuff going on. Mary, she's making the heart thing. Is that okay? Do we let the heart thing go?
The heart thing?
Okay.
The heart thing's good.
Yes. All right. That was Steph Rogers, and we are going to now go from Chicago to upstate New York to Ms. Tina McKenna. Tina's already unmuted. I am going to spotlight her. Break a leg, Tina.
Okay. It's in the 70s, and I'm working at a summer theater in California, and I make friends with this very silly, very sweet boy whose name was Peter. We were just friends, believe me. There was no benefits. And he didn't like that because Peter was this like randy little bee, and he would buzz around, looking for any flower that would, spread her petals for him, but not this one. And he'd say, "Okay, I get it. You're your mother, Wendy, and there's some stuff that we can't do." And we never do. So the summer ends and we both head back to Marin. I'm living in my car because my father's died and I'm eating out of dumpsters. But you have to remember, this is Marin. So that was like 5-star dining. Anyway, Peter heads off to Juilliard a couple months later. And the next year I head off to Juilliard and they keep Peter and they kick me out. So I head back to Marin. And one day I'm sitting on the deck of Self-Pity and I'm reading the San Francisco Chronicle. And there's this cartoon. It's from Jules Pfeiffer. And it changes my life. I pick up the phone and I make a reservation for a one-way ticket back to New York that very night. And 50 years later, I'm still here. Boom.
All right, thank you, Tina. Yeah, Mary, Jo know that boom is sometimes how people end their stories. It is not a requirement.
It's a request, though, I have to say.
It's not a requirement, though, either.
No, not a requirement. But
it's not a requirement. It's somewhere in between. We do appreciate it.
Right, we do.
What are you drinking tonight, Mary?
I have bubbly soda water, white peach ginger.
Okay.
Very yummy.
Mary Jo, what are you ingesting this evening? Mayonnaise? What is this? What are you drinking? Mayonnaise?
Lemon blueberry sparkling water.
Ooh, it's a sparkling water night for the
Trader
All right, we've got a very healthy
brand.
We've got healthy hosts, healthy judges. They'll make good.
No, but I had a little pipe.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
It's because of calories.
All right, adjust your stories accordingly. Our judge is a little high. Cheddar, you're up. Here we go. Let us spotlight Cheddar Galloway in Atlanta, Georgia. Cheddar, whenever you're ready, take your time. Break a leg.
It was February 13th this year, and I was at Toastmasters when I received a text from my best friend, Todd. He wanted me to come over and help him do something because he wasn't feeling well. I said, well, we just got started. I'll come by in about an hour when we're done. And he says, okay. But then something in the back of my mind said, you better get your black ass over there right now. So I left the meeting early and went over to his house and let myself in. And I was met at the door with the stench of 4 full garbage bags and a 5th one on standby in an open trash can. Then I heard a weak voice from his bedroom call my name, and I went in, and what I saw was an imposter. What looked like a skeleton with some brown wrinkled skin pulled over it, sunken black eyes, and missing front teeth. You see, last year, Todd had triple bypass surgery and has never been the same. And as his condition worsened, he didn't tell me anything about it, even though we've been friends for 20 years. I didn't know about his financial problems or him not going to appointments or taking his medicine. Well, I stayed with him that weekend to help clean up his house, but he had to go to the hospital the next week. His sister came from Texas to look after him. And the last time I actually saw him was on February 28th, because 2 days later, on March 2nd, she sent me a text that he was no longer with us and gone. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Cheddar Galloway in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not going to bring up, Mary, college sports, professional football, or other sports, because people are very sensitive about their hometown teams.
True facts.
One of the things that I like is sports, and sometimes when someone's from Boston or Atlanta or these other places, I'm tempted to open up a conversation, but I'm not going to do that.
That's amazing self-control, Sean.
Thank you.
Reading the room. It was reading the room.
I'm reading the room. I'm looking for a little validation, and as always, you give it to me, which I appreciate.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
It's a gift. Number 4 of our section 1 of round 1 out in California is Ms. Neshama Franklin. Neshama, would you unmute yourself? We will spotlight you, and we want to hear your story.
Okay. So, true confessions, I have an addiction to chewing. Not gum, not tobacco, God forbid. I love to gnaw on bones. And I've done this for my whole life. I mean, maybe it came through the DNA of the fear of pogroms, waste not, want not. But in any case, let me tell you why I love bones so much. It's the aroma of roasted meat, but I'm not interested in the meat. I like the fat and the grizzle, the stuff that people throw away. It's really kind of tasty. And mostly I like the challenge because, you know, it's an intricate joint and I have to get in there with my teeth. And when I'm finished with a bone, a dog wouldn't even be interested in it. Now, chicken bones, they're pretty good. There are a lot of bones in there, but they're too easy to chew. However, a rib bone, you know, the kind that King Henry VIII might have gnawed on, that's what I grab every night. In one hand, a book, and in the other hand, a bone, and I fling myself into bed, and I read omnivorously, and I chew hugely, growling softly to myself. And yes, my eyes are old, and yes, my teeth are old, but I hope as I get older and older, both of these will last, so I can keep my dual addictions going till the end of my days. Boom.
And that is the end of section 1 of round 1. Mary, we've got 4 storytellers. They were all at or under time. Now, I know some people out there will time the tellers, if the competitive types. Here's what you need to know. Sometimes we will add a little cushion. We don't tell the tellers what the cushion is, but sometimes we add a little cushion and we keep that consistent throughout the show. So given that information, and I'm fair. I'm a fair guy. Try to be. All 4 are eligible. So we are going to go to the poll and we are going to hear 4 names. After that, remember, hang on one sec. I need to, Neshama. Sometimes, Mary, I forget to mute myself while someone's telling a story. And I'm like,
I do too.
Right. We got to be careful. All right, everybody here that's not named Mary, Jo, or Sean will be voting in a moment. Mary, would you please read these names? Here we go.
You know it. For Steph, there's a lot of ways to say I love you, but me too was the way she talked to her old high school boyfriend who came back around again. Tina, a cartoon changed her life, and a one-way ticket to New York has kept her there for a long time. Cheddar told the story about his friend who called him and needed help, and he was gone in less than a month.
Yep.
And Neshama made us all hungry by talking about her addiction to bones.
All right. I think I've done a good enough job here of putting everyone's name in the same order they told and a blurb of your blurb, right?
Yeah.
You have a real skill of blurbing.
Thank you.
I don't think I have as good a skill as taking your blurbs and making them blurbs. But given that they just heard all the stories and heard your blurbs, and see, it should be enough.
It should be enough. You're great at polling, Sean. So,
Well, I went to school for it. I mean, not as parents that would send them to school for this.
Right.
Season 5, Section 1, Steph, Tina, Cheddar, Neshama. We're going to launch this poll. Thanks, Steph. Steph, your cute jokes are not going to get you any more points. Here we go.
But Joanne is being so kind to me tonight. So thank you, Joanne. Everybody's very kind to me, though.
We've got a 2-person race. It is really close. Everyone's got to vote. We got all right.
And look, I know we say it's always close, but really, like this group, very close.
Yep. We're gonna get. I want to give these. I want to get all the votes. So we've done this for 30 seconds. I don't think there's a huge rush here. No. So let's keep it open for a little longer before we pull the next 4 names. And Harold Cox, can you message me if you've not? I messaged you back, and I just want to get confirmation from you. We might have a 15th storyteller here this evening.
Woo!
Yep. You know Harold.
I do. He's wonderful. Everyone's wonderful who's telling stories.
Everybody's good.
Yes.
Everybody's good. We have a couple newcomers, which I love.
Yeah.
I just added a 15th name. So what we're going to do now is instead of 4433, we're going to do 4443. You see what I did? See the math man I am?
Yep. Again, another talent.
There's somebody on here who's apparently a professional gambler, but I can teach that dude about numbers, the way I manipulate numbers to make this shit work. We're going to close this poll.
I think we should
have a winner. And Mary, Jo, and Mary, remember, anybody who doesn't win one of these, they're eligible to be put through. So mental note, physical note, whatever you got to do to put that your one choice through. Okay, let us move on. People are saying all kinds of things to both the tellers and not in the chat. So when you can, have a look at that. I'm sure they're very amusing, Mary. Mary, are you frozen?
You were frozen, then I was frozen. I don't know.
All right. If either of us, so just so everyone knows, if I freeze, and it happens from time to time, once in a while, I'm just practicing my mime work. But usually that's not the case. Mary and or Mary Jo will keep the show going, but it may mean that we need to pause for a little bit. Yeah. I will come back. For some reason, Wi-Fi is a little weird.
It's a live show. We just go with the flow.
I know what happens with those polls. If you don't do something and end the poll after a period of time, it automatically shows again. That's what's happening.
Oh,
just FYI. No big deal. All right, let me draw 4 more names.
Let's do it.
And here I go. I just mix them up. Nothing fancy. I know Steph Rogers, who does a lot of shows, she's got a fancy wheel and she'll hit this thing and the wheel goes around. It's like a pie chart. Way too fancy for me.
To keep it basic.
In this order, the next four tellers, section
right.
2, round 1, Richard, Tori, Vamsi, and Susan. All right. So it's going to be Richard, Tori, Vamsi, and Susan. We good with that, Mary?
I think this is another excellent.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm going to find Richard, who's already unmuted. And Richard, take your time and break a leg, sir.
I'm 23 years old and I'm dealing at a casino in Las Vegas. And another dealer, this cute girl named Chris, says to me, do you want to go scuba diving? And I'm like, yes. If she had said, do you want to eat broken glass? I would say yes. And she says, well, you're not certified. So what I'll do is I'm going to give you this book and then I'm going to give you a test. And if you can pass the test, I will take you scuba diving. And I said, okay. I got the book. I went home. I read the whole thing that night. I came back the next day. I'm ready to take the test. I take the test. I pass it. So we go out to Lake Mead and we go scuba diving. I got the tank and the whole thing. And we go in. She tells me it's very important. We cannot go below 60 feet. I'm like, that's fine. So we go all the way down to 60 feet and you can hardly see more than a few feet in front of your face, but I make amazing discoveries like an old beer can and a fishing rod. And that night we go back to work. And I am so grateful to this girl, Chris, because she made me a god in front of all the other dealers in that casino. Not because of the scuba diving, but because she came by my table when she was going on a break. And in a loud voice, she said to me, you know, after today, you have been lower and deeper than any man I've ever been with. Boom.
All right, Richard Munchkin out of Las Vegas, Nevada, starting us off, Mary. First teller, section 2, round 1. And I think it's safe to say, and Mary, tell me if I'm wrong here.
Okay.
Quality just is really solid as always. And
Amazing.
You know, look, we've been doing this for over a year. Naturally, it's going to continue to be really good.
Yeah.
Right?
Stellar.
Okay. We are going to move from Vegas to the great state of Pennsylvania. And yes, Mary, it is a great state.
It is.
All right. Just making sure you know that.
I do know that. I do that. I do.
Tori is joining us. I believe she's already spotlighted and muted. So take your time, Tori. Have some fun.
So it's freshman year of high school. I'm supposed to do a sport. I try out for volleyball, but I don't make the squad. So I sign up for the wrestling team. Massachusetts has co-ed high school wrestling. And my high school's wrestling team is definitely co-ed because there's 26 guys and there's me. That's co-ed. And not only do I make the team, I qualify for varsity right away. And it's not because I'm good. I am by far the worst person on the entire team. And there's people bigger than me and there's people smaller than me, but just by chance, I'm the only person on the team in my particular weight class, right in the middle at 145 pounds. 1996. And so my coach either has to send me out or forfeit that match. Varsity. 2 weeks into the season, we're at our first varsity meet, and they call my weight class, and the other school sends out their team captain. I have been wrestling for 2 weeks. This guy was the state champ in his weight class last season. I'm chubby. And for every pound I have of boob, he's got pounds of bicep. He is stacked. His name is Kovalchik. It's like a total David and Goliath kind of moment, except instead of a slingshot, I've got all of my hair tucked into this bright blue Speedo swim cap. I step into the ring. 9 seconds later, I am on my back. Boom.
Thank you, Miss Tori in Pittsburgh. Mary, I said we're not going to talk sports. We're not going to talk about the Steelers game. We're not going to do it. Okay?
We're not doing that.
We're not going to talk about a slight upset I saw today with the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're not doing it.
You're not going to do that tonight.
I'm not doing that. I'm not talking about Atlanta Falcons' disappointing start. It's not fair to Cheddar and other people who like the Atlanta Falcons. We're not going to do that. We're not going to talk about the fact that a lot of people love that the New England Patriots are no longer amazing. We're just not. We're not talking about it.
No.
Okay.
It's okay. It's all right. Well, I'll hold that in. See, that stirred up something in me. Now I'm just going to.
I got personal when I went up there to Boston and your boy, Tom Brady.
I held it in.
He's not with us anymore. At least he's not there. It must really be weird, though, to see him go down to Tampa and win a damn Super Bowl.
With we think COVID. So I just don't, we shouldn't talk about it.
We're not going to talk about it.
We're not going to talk.
We're not talking about that thing.
No.
Okay. We're going to find Vamsi here. Vamsi, can you, Vamsi, I'm going to ask you to mute. And if you could show video, that would be great, if possible. And I'm going to spotlight you if I can. Mary, can you help me spotlight Vamsi?
Of course I can.
Still with us?
Yeah, hi.
Hang on.
Can you see?
Hang on. We'll find you. There you are, Vamsi Krishna. I see black. I don't see you. Are you?
I do see black. I don't see myself here. I don't know, like.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Hang on. We'll figure this out. I'm going to ask you to start your video. And if you can't do it, it's okay. Most important, we can hear you. So that works too.
There we are.
Can you see me?
Yep. We can see you. We can hear you. Take your time and let us hear your story when you're ready.
Okay. I will start right now. Okay. Hi. This is like it's been like it's on 2019 December 31st. I was waiting till 11 o'clock. Should I go out or like should I do something? But at the time, like it's 2020. It's never gonna happen. It's like it's a great year. So I thought, okay, let's go out. So I went to a bar. Like I went to the south side. Like there are like so many bars, but I couldn't find like any entry in there. Like it's all full. At last I went to a bar. Like it's like unlimited drinks for $100. So it's a good deal. So when I went, I drink like anything and like danced and like meeting everyone. Like I had good fun. But when you cut the scene, I woke up on the very next morning. I woke up in a hospital in the Noviat. I don't know what happened. Like slowly, I realized someone beat the shit out of me. So I came into the hospital. So when I woke up and later I went to the restroom. I just looking at the mirror. What happened? I thought this is the worst day of my life. But later I realized there's a smile on my face because something happened to me after a long time, something different. It makes a great drunken story. So I felt happy. So that was my story. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Vamsi. Vamsi's in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is not where I live. Mary, excuse me, is in the same state. They do have a 2-0 football team, but we are not going to talk about sports, despite the 2-0 start by the Panthers, who are based in Charlotte. We made a rule. There's a boundary here. We're not doing it.
You just keep stirring that part right up, Sean. Keep doing it.
Okay. Check the chat, y'all. People are sending their love because for now they can't chat with you any other way, at least that I know of. Our final storyteller for section 2 in round 1, season 5, a lot of numbers. Susan up in the great province, I believe, of Ontario. Let me spotlight her. Susan, good to see you. Take your time, young lady.
Thank you. It's 1950, and my father has just woken up in an apartment. And to his horror, he's realized that he has no sugar for his coffee. He frantically goes out the door. He starts knocking on all the apartment doors there, and finally a door opens. And it is from what will be my godmother, my Aunt Molly. She chuckles as she hears his story. And she goes to the kitchen and she invites him in. And there for the first time, he sees my mother. Saucer in one hand, cup of tea in the other. And on that day, my father found his cup of sugar. They were married. I was born. And my husband will tell you, he's also got his sugar. Boom.
Right. Okay, Susan. Mary is up in the Toronto area. Those were 4 stories. They were all at or under time. Yeah, always makes me feel
Yes.
wonderful. When you have a moment, please, it is time for you to shine or shine more. Share your blurbs, and then we will have our second poll.
Sounds great. So Richard became a god in front of the other dealers in Vegas when a scuba diving excursion was changed into something a little bit longer and harder than his friend had ever dealt with. Tori was a freshman who became a varsity wrestler, but lost her match in 9 seconds. Vamsi, something different happened to him after he went in and had an all-you-can-drink time on New Year's Eve. Ending up in the hospital is something different, but it's a way to look at it. And Susan, her dad found his cup of sugar when he was out by meeting her mom.
All right. You, as always, do a wonderful job with your blurbs. I have blurbed the blurbs.
You have blurbed the blurbs.
There's no more meta blurbing that we're going to do here this evening.
Right.
I'm going to share, I believe, what is section 2. Richard, Tori, Vamsi. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, sir. And Susan, let us launch. We hopefully will get all 32 people who can vote to vote.
Please vote.
Please vote. All right. All right. All right, we got about 7 more people, not about 6 more people. I just want people to vote. Is that asking too much?
I don't think it's asking too much.
It is, or it is not?
It is not.
It's part of being here. If someone wants to just watch and not participate, that's fine. I get that, but
yeah.
We've got a little more time here for this poll, so why not just
vote?
Right.
I mean, I know it's a great responsibility, but still, we need you to do it.
Indeed.
Right.
All right. We can close this one, right?
Yeah, we can close it.
All right. Let me end that.
I got it.
You got it, right?
I got it.
Remember, Mary and Mary Jo, you're going to put, I know you know this. I'm also kind of letting everyone know this. You are going to put somebody through each, not a section winner who I will announce, of course, after round 1 and after a little break. I think we're doing a decent job here.
I think it's a great night myself.
I enjoy it. It's a Sunday night. I went to the pool earlier, a little bit of friends' pool.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
So pool, it's one of those little, anyway, nice.
It was nice.
It was nice.
And then you're like, I got to come back and host, but.
No, I was ready to come back when I came back.
Yes.
Oh, fine. I enjoy this. You know I do. I enjoy this. I wouldn't do it.
Well, that's insane.
I mean, we ain't getting rich here. That's not shit, sure.
So we don't need that. We don't, well.
All right, here we go. 4 more. We've got Maggie across the pond, Jamie, Harold Cox up by you, and Emily Pitts. All right, again, Maggie, this is the order. Jamie, Harold, and Emily. And I know for sure that Maggie is audio only. We will not see her, but let us find her.
Look for the phone number.
Look for the phone number, and there she is. If you hear this, Maggie, would you unmute yourself? There you go. All right, whenever you're ready, Maggie, we are ready for your story.
So, I live in Shepperton, southwest of London Heathrow Airport, but it's not really London, it's kind of a shitburb. And in order to make myself feel more interesting and important as I slowly crawled towards 50, which in my head is old, but now in my 50s, it's young. I started taking singing lessons, but I didn't take them locally. I took them up in central London, at a central London college that cost too much money. And I chose the most pretentious singing class I could find in the curriculum, Nordic songs with Sven Jeriksen. And I spent most of the class staring at Sven's lovely face, didn't understand a single word. I was the most shit in the classroom. I held my stomach in the hope he would fancy me, and I wandered over the road to the bus stop, waiting for the 176 back to London Waterloo. And I let go of my tension, but at the same time, I also let go of a really high fart on a G. And I thought, oh shit. Looked round to my left, nobody there, thought, got away with it. But belt and braces, I looked around to my right, and behind me was Sven. And he raised his two black eyebrows, and I got on the first bus that came, going anywhere. I never went back to that college. Boom.
Good job, Maggie, who ends with a boom, which absolutely has no effect on voting. But I like it. I like the boom.
I like the boom.
You know that. You know that.
We love the boom.
We love the boom.
Yes.
We love the boom.
We do.
We are not going to talk about the Florida Gators here because that was a tough loss to the Bama Crimson Tide. I'm just saying, as an alumni of the University of Florida, that's not the best. But we're not doing this. Let's go from across the pond back to the States. He is somewhere, I think, in New York. He's quite the jet setter. Let's find him. Ask him to unmute himself.
That's true.
Spotlight him. It is Jamie. Break a leg, sir.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
You do, okay, because I see a frozen Mary, which is, I'm glad. I'd rather look at her than me when I'm telling the story.
You're good. Man.
Okay, so I will start. My Texas mother, Mama Jean, was high maintenance, so I was always on edge when she came to visit me in New York because if anything went wrong, it was my fault, and she always had to be right. So she's visiting me after I've just moved into a new apartment. Haven't worked out all the kinks, so it's too soon for her to visit. But here she is, and the first morning that she's there, she and I are both on edge, antsy to get ready. I've got to get to work for an early meeting. She has to get ready because my brother, Jeffrey, is going to pick her up to take her to see his new house up in the Berkshires in Massachusetts. Can I get my bath now? Yep. Bathroom's all yours. She always took a bath, never a shower, because a shower would threaten her once a week hairdo that she had done to perfection, a helmet. So I'm pouring my cup of coffee, and then I remember, don't turn on the, God damn it, shower. One of the kinks I hadn't worked out was the shower valve was in the permanent on position. So when she turned on the faucet for her bath, my hair is ruined. Why would you do this to me? She screamed at me like the Wicked Witch of the West after Dorothy had doused her with a bucket of water. The proscenium arch of hair around her face looked as perfect as it always did. It looks okay to me. Does this look okay to you? The back of her head looked like the side of a mountain after a mudslide. What am I going to do? This hair was supposed to last me a week. Listen, when you get up to Massachusetts, you'll find a beauty parlor up there and they'll fix it. They don't know how to do hair like this up in Massachusetts. As always, she was right. Boom.
All right, Mr. Jamie Brickhouse, who's maybe wearing an orange shirt. We're not really sure what the hell's going on. Thank you, Jamie. Quick plug, by the way, Mary, for the NSN. They do a nice job with their slam, and some people on here are part of that in a host capacity or teller. Just a quick plug. They're a good organization. Yes. National Storytelling Network. They had a recent slam. I'm not really connected with them, a little bit here and there, but check them out. We are going to move down from the New York area up to the Boston area. We are finding Mr. Cox. He's already, yep. He's a pro. Cox, you're ready. Whenever you're ready, take your time. We want to hear your story.
My job at the food pantry was to pass out 1 dozen eggs to every person that came to my station. Other people passed out other things, chicken, cheese, vegetables. A woman came to my station. She looked like somebody's grandmother. She was old, frail, short. I gave her a dozen eggs, and she put them in a basket, and then she said, "May I have another dozen?" I said, "I'm sorry, I can't give that to you because the rules say that we can only give 1 dozen to each person." She looked away, and just as quickly she looked back at me. And this time, She had tears in her eyes and she had this very tortured look on her face. I didn't really know how to respond at that moment. I just waved her on so that she could go to the other stations and pick up more food. Other people came to my station to get eggs, but I continued to think about this woman because, see, I didn't know what she had at home. I didn't know how long those eggs had needed to last. I didn't know who she needed to feed. I just know that the rules say that you can only give 1 dozen to each person. Well, every once in a while, it's important to remember that people come to food pantries because they are hungry. And it is important once in a while just to say, fuck the rules. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Harold Cox. Good job. Good job, everybody. Right. We are now in the coming up on the last storyteller of section 3. I sure do complicate things here. Round 1, section 3, season 5. How many numbers do you really need, Sean, to have a show? But I do want to add this. There is room for one more storyteller in the final section. We only have 3 right now. If that is you, let me know. Unmute yourself right now. Let me know or put it in the chat. I'll add your name to the list. You'll go in, we'll put your name into the mix, and you'll tell a story. You never know what might happen.
Exactly.
If you put your name in, like you might do right now, very late, and then you beat the 3 storytellers who already have a spot, they're gonna be pissed. I'm just saying. But hell yeah, do it. Why not make them pissed? It keeps like it. Should I stop talking now?
You're stirring again. Stop
Yeah,
the stirring.
I should stop talking. Okay. Let us find Ms. Emily Pitts.
Poor Emily was waiting. I saw her unmuted.
Oh, all right. Did I go out of order or was it okay?
No, you're good. You're good.
Right. So we had Maggie, Jamie, Harold, and Emily.
Emily, yeah. But she was ready. I was saying she was ready. I saw her. She's unmuted. She's waiting.
Good. She's ready to go. She's going to be spotlighted right now. Emily, have some fun and break a leg.
Okay, 5th graders. Next week is state testing. We're going to have 5 tests, 2 math, 1 reading, 1 writing, and 1 science. So we're going to do 1 per week. But the good news is the school is giving us snacks, red vines and pretzels. My class was not excited to hear about this because state testing can crush anyone's soul. But these students were typically below grade level, so the tests were even harder. Alan decided to do something about it. Miss Pitts, if we do this, would you buy us a legit cake? The other children quickly bandwagoned. Please buy us a cake. Please, please, please. We will try our hardest. We will do our best. I'll think about it. A month goes by and testing ends, and I remember the cake. And so I call the bakery and plan to pick it up on Friday during my lunch hour. And when I get it, I put it on the table in front of my class and cover it with an orange sheet, piece of cloth. I get the kids from recess and I bring them in. And as soon as they see a surprise at the front of the room, they gather around the table excitedly. And I pull the cloth off and they gasp, not because it's a sheet cake, but because there are big blue letters that read Legit. Alan turns to me and he says, Miss Pitts, you did it. He's a bit shocked. You got us a legit cake. I did. Because testing can crush your soul. And my hope is that when these 5th graders look back on their experience, they don't remember the tests, but they remember the cake and that they were too legit to quit. Boom.
All right. Thank you, Emily. Final storyteller of section 3. Mary, great news. Once again, this is not me doing a hallelujah thing here. This is me saying, well, it is in a way. Everybody's at or under. Professional blurbing and then do my own blurbing. Here we go.
Professional blurbing. All
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unpaid professional.
Right.
Yes.
Maggie's dreams were crushed with her romance of Sven when she let out a fart at the bus station. Jamie's Mama Jean's hair was ruined by his not worked out kink's apartment, and Massachusetts doesn't know how to do hair like that. I found out. Harold, fuck the rules, right? 1 dozen of eggs for everyone, not always. And Emily brought the kids a cake after testing and made sure that it was too legit to quit.
Perfecto. As always, genius. Maggie, Jamie, Harold, and Emily, let's launch this poll. We've got 31 people who could vote. I hope we see 31 votes. All right, here we go. This is interesting. Wow. Everyone needs to vote. This is really close.
I mean, tied right now.
Yep. There is a tie.
Yeah.
So, wow. Super close. 2 more people could vote, and we're going to go to, we will extend this. My rule is always we'll go up to 1 minute because somebody might be in the bathroom, and that might be the difference. And right now there could be a difference. The rule is if we have a tie, we repoll those 2. It doesn't, because we only can have 1 per section, and you, Mary, have 1, and Mary Jo has another. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So when I have to repoll this, it's gonna be like 30 seconds. So you're going to do something magical, I'm sure, to bide the time. All right, we're at a minute. Let me end this poll. We do have to relaunch it. We have to 2 names. Should I leave that as a surprise or let them know?
I think you should leave it as a surprise.
Okay.
Anticipation's a lovely thing.
All right, let me do this. Let's kill like 30 seconds. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to lean on you to make that happen.
Okay. What do you have coming up, Sean? You're doing what's next
right
Sunday?
now, what's coming up is Sean's launching a poll.
Well, folks, if you're not part of the Grit group, which is a lot of times where Sean posts his events, you should join the Grit group because there's so many events that happen. Many happen. Actually, there's so many all during the week, but we have a lot on Sundays. We have Tuesday nights, Fridays, all different kinds of things, workshopping, 99-second story slam. We have.
What else do I got? You're good. I got to hire you, man.
There's so much to practice storytelling in all different genres. If you love the 99 story slam, you can come join us there. If you love to talk about topics that are important like mental health, we have events there.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
What's going on? All right. I'm going to launch this. By the way, this was really close across the board in this. There were 2 people who tied for first. Just know everybody in this particular section, it was really, really close, but there were 2 people that just eked it out and tied, and I'm launching. Right. Everyone gets to vote except for the 3 people who are named Mary Jo, Sean, and Mary. And if there's a tie now, then I'm putting both through. I'm not doing more of this. I mean, I'm just not going to keep doing it.
The tie of the tie. Then we do this. Yeah, no.
I think let's keep it going. It's tight. It's close. It's close. It's really close.
There's still voting happening.
Yep. It could still change if everybody votes.
Yeah,
make sure sense that there's a few people here who might be on the can for a long time. They might be a little backed up.
I mean, it does happen.
It could be backed up. It happens to everybody.
Or someone could have left and said, gee, I don't want to vote because I didn't hear all the stories. I know folks do that.
And I appreciate that. Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. And there might be 1 or 2 people who just fell asleep.
Yeah. Which.
And I mean, am I going to be mad at you for that? No.
No.
Just don't ever come back to my events ever.
Booted.
We are going to close this poll because it's been a minute. Literally. You know how people say like, oh, it's been a minute, but I'm literally saying it has been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. These stories are fantastic. I always, people think I'm this like mean guy, but truly, I always feel bad for people not getting to go through knowing so many good stories.
I know.
And then some people prepare a lot. And I don't think these stories are the center of their lives, but they might put some time into it.
Absolutely.
They want to win. It's a competitive thing. I get it.
Always feel good when you win, right?
Yeah, sure. Of course. Of course. So
we have 4 more.
Everybody who doesn't go through, listen, stick around. Continue supporting and voting, please. Here we go. Last 3. They know who they are. They don't know the order until now. Number 1, Andrew. Number 2, Ruth. Number 3, Ronna. That means that is it. There are no other storytellers this week. This is going to be the final section of round 1. All the section winners will go forward. And then again, there will be 2 additional, I guess we can call them wild card choices. Wild card. Yeah, I like when you do it when you whisper like that.
Yeah.
Grr. I do the growl and it's terrible. Okay. Andrew Shelffo, I unmuted you. I'm spotlighting you. Take your time, sir. Break a leg.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to tell my parents that I've lost my scholarship and I'm about to get kicked out of college. I just got off the phone with my honors professor. We're supposed to be in class right now, but just when class was about to start, the department secretary came in and said class was canceled. However, the professor wants to talk to you. And she pointed right at me. I got on the phone with the professor and she said to me, hey, you know that term paper draft that you turned in? That was really good. Where'd you get it? I knew what she was accusing me of, but I'm not a cheater. She was wrong. You see, in high school, I once turned down a $50 offer from one of the prettiest girls in the senior class when I was just a sophomore because she wanted me to ghostwrite a paper for her. So now I'm terrified. I tell my professor, I don't know what she's talking about. She sighs. Okay, we'll clear it up when I'm back on campus on Monday. It's Thursday. I spend the weekend gathering all my evidence, my notes, the books, the articles. I refer to the student handbook over and over again. I have a lousy weekend. Monday morning, I bring everything to the professor's office. Ah, yes, Mr. Shelffo, your citations did not match your bibliography. Can you tell me why? I can't. You didn't like the bibliography I turned in, so you asked me to do another one. I must have inadvertently put the wrong one on there. Oh, well, that explains it then. I guess I'm not getting kicked out of school. I get the paper back. She gave me a B-. Boom.
Mr. Andrew Shelffo up in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Mary, recently I said the state of Massachusetts. It may technically be a state, but someone gave me shit for it. So now I'm just going to keep saying it's a Commonwealth.
It is a Commonwealth.
For what it's worth, there's no other state in the frickin' United States that needs to be called a Commonwealth
Virginia?
other than yours.
It's
Okay.
someone said Virginia? Did someone
Okay.
say- I thought I might have heard. I'm
Yeah.
seeing nodding happen. So
They should be kicked out of the show right now. Get rid of get rid of whoever is defying what I'm saying.
Yes. Oh, there's four.
All right.
Andrew said
And,
there's
you know
four.
what? I knew
Wow.
when I opened, you know what I did right there? I stirred the pot again because I knew there would be people saying,
See?
oh, no, actually, Sean, there's several Commonwealth and there's even a district and it's not technically a state and there are these various protectorates. Whatever. Everyone's smarter than me. Okay.
All right. Well, they're not. They're not. They just
No,
know
it's-
something about the Commonwealths that we didn't know. It's fine.
Is it though?
I don't know. I'm trying to smooth it over.
By the way,
You
Mary,
stirred and I'm smoothing.
as always, your teeth look very good.
Thank you. I'm taking good care of them.
You are probably flossing regularly.
Absolutely. And my mother would be proud. She would.
No doubt. No
Yes.
doubt. And I want to hear more about your mom. She's been in a couple of your stories. I know
has.
her a little bit. We're going to go down to Texas. There's a lot one could say about that phenomenal non-Commonwealth state. But for now, we're just going to say, hey, Ruth, I'm spotlighting you and have some fun.
He's in love with your brain was the message that came across my phone. It was from one of my medical students. He was debating a mystery case with another student of mine. But you have much better qualities than that. Winky face emoji was the rest of the message. What? What better qualities could I have than my brain? Winky face? And that's when I decided that this student who was half my age was in love with me. So I did what any middle-aged mother of two would do, and I went and hid in my bathroom because I thought maybe my husband would see I was a little too giddy about this crisis. And I called my best friend, who was another middle-aged mother of two, and she gave me the sage advice that I must confront him immediately. So I wrote back to him, I don't understand because you have a girlfriend and I'm married and we wouldn't want to hurt anyone. And the reply came back, I just meant you're really kind and fair and have a really nice aura. And that's when I saw in the bathroom mirror a very much middle-aged mother of two, completely mortified. Boom.
Thank you, Ms. Ruth. It's been a while. And it's good to see you again. Mary, Ruth lives in I believe in the Houston area.
She did say Houston area. Yes.
She lives in the Houston area.
Yes.
So that's an interesting large city.
It is.
Controversial football quarterback. We are not going to go there though.
We seen a dance on the edge.
We're not talking about football in the great state of Texas. Sensitive situation. We have heard 14 stories so far, and we've got one more. And for this, we are going to end round one in one of the places in the world, which is not Staten Island or the Bronx. And there's nothing wrong with those places, but it just happens to be Brooklyn. Ms. Ronna Levy.
3 years ago, September 11th, I see on Facebook that one of my former high school classmates has posted a video tribute to another classmate, Paige Farley. Paige was on one of the airplanes that hit the towers. Now, I never hung out with Paige in high school. I mean, I never saw her at the football games or the Dairy Queen or parties. The only thing I remember is Paige would take the ski trips, the high school ski trips to Austria. I mean, we moved in very different circles. And a couple of years after high school, I hear that Paige was in rehab for drugs and alcohol. And I remember thinking, well, another townie bites the dust. But then I watched this video and I see this beautiful, classy lady who was on her way to LA to discuss her upcoming radio series, Spiritually Speaking. And then I find out that she was the chairman of the board of the Boston Salvation Army, and her mission was to help others improve their lives. And some of her gratitude lists now hang in the 9/11 Memorial Museum. And on the video, her husband says that on her gratitude list that morning, it said she was grateful for safe planes. So I watched this video, and the 1970s band Bread sings, "I would give everything I own just to have you back again." I wished I would have said hi to Paige when we passed each other in the hallways at school. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ronna Levy, in the great borough of Brooklyn. Mary, did you know that a borough is a county? But a county, of course, is not necessarily a borough.
True, I did know.
Oh, shit. So I'm not helping you at all in terms of teaching you new things.
That's all right. Because other things will come up tonight, Sean. We still have a show.
Nothing's
we have a
coming
second
up.
round.
I don't know anything.
We will.
I'm going to go back into a shame spiral in a moment. Here we go.
No.
Andrew and Ronna are all at or under time. Please blurb for us as you do so well.
You got it. So Andrew had a terrible weekend when a professor accused him of plagiarism, but it was a case of the wrong bibliography being handed in. Ruth was mortified when she found out that a student thought she was kind, fair, and had a really nice aura and wasn't interested in her more. Wink, wink. And Ronna wished she had said hello to Paige after learning that Paige passed away at 9/11.
All right, I'm going to do, this is the most challenging of the blurbing for me. So I'm doing my best. But again, they just heard the stories. They heard you.
Yes.
So look, am I a genius at this blurbing? No. Do I know exactly what I'm a genius in yet? Have I found my superpower? No. But here we go. All right, we've got Andrew, Ruth, and Ronna. This is the only section with only three. Slight advantage for these tellers, but hey, only one is probably going to go through. Here we go. Launching it up to 33 can vote. Let's vote.
Woot, woot.
What do you think? Wrong bibliography, student crush, 9/11 wish? Not terrible.
I thought they were good.
This is really close again. Wow.
Yep.
I don't know if this is helping or hurting. Like, are we adding suspense or it's just annoying, but it's so close?
Well, that's the thing. It really is. I hope it encourages people to vote.
Yes.
And if it annoys a few people, what can I say?
It's always going to annoy a few people. I might remind them of their, brother-in-law who's a jerk. I mean, look, what can I do?
What can you
Keep
do?
it open for a little bit longer. I think it can make a difference. Maybe it's really close.
It's very close.
Mary and Mary Jo, you see the polls, you know the winners. So in the next few minutes, you got to think about your selection. Anybody who did not win one of the sections, you should know all of them. We can message each other on the messenger on the Facebook in a moment. All right, let's close this poll. We do have a winner. Awesome. All right, I'm going to communicate with both Queen Mary and MJ Pollack out of Arizona. We're not talking about the Cardinals because we agreed not to. And what I want to do is ask both Mary and Mary Jo. Do you have stuff coming up? Now I know you also have to put somebody through, so
Yes.
you're multitasking.
Well, I sent through mine, so you got mine. But
I did get yours. Yes, we're waiting on
Yes.
MJ. No rush, MJ. Whenever you're ready, put yours through.
So on October 16th, we have, I don't know, I think some folks have done it, the Stories to Scene, which is a virtual show happening on October 16th. And we need storytellers and we'd like folks to do it. It's really fun. You tell your story, your 5-minute true story, and then it is acted out by an improv group who is super funny. So if you're interested, I know Harold Cox is here. He's producing it. And yes, so jump on, because we need storytellers for it. And it happens once a month, the third Saturday of every month. So yes, folks, you would be fabulous. And you can do it right from your living room.
Anything else you want to share with us about story stuff?
Doing anything else?
Hey, Mary, you know what? Why don't you just real quick?
Yeah.
And again, for a few more minutes, Mary's going to talk. I'm going to let MJ talk. I'm going to share a little bit, and then we'll announce the 6 people going through. But hello, do you want to talk about your other coaching stuff or no?
My other coaching stuff. Well, I mean, I am a life coach. So if people need some coaching, whether it's storytelling or otherwise, happy to do so. You can reach me at marydalba.com or marydalba.com.
Got it. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
MJ, where are you? MJ Pollack, you're texting me back right now. So I'm going to give you a minute. While you're doing that, relax. Hang on. I love that she's smiling though. That's what we want.
We like it when
Look,
MJ smiles.
everybody, most people here know enough about my stuff. Grit, Sunday night events, different kinds of events. Mary, by the way, we had one in-person slam a couple months ago.
Yes.
We had intentions of doing a second slam. I canceled it because this is like right when like everyone thought we were good to go, and then we had to sort of like lock down again. Today, I had what I consider our first main stage live in person. Kat Dean and Sharon Eisner. Some people here know them.
Yes.
They told stories. In truth, I didn't expect to tell a story. I didn't plan to it, but we needed tellers. It's a long whatever. But we told stories, and it was let's call it an intimate audience, a quaint but very kind audience. Yes. And it went really well. And I'm very proud, particularly of Kat and Sharon. They're not here, but yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It'll, I think as we continue to kind of navigate COVID, we'll have more events in person and we'll figure it all out. And we'll still be here doing 99-second story slam. So there's that.
Absolutely. Let Mary Jo Pollack in Tucson, Arizona. Now is your time. Mary Jo, I got your final answer, correct? Do you want to share with our lovely audience? And by the way, right after we're done, tellers and others, we give you an opportunity to hop on, promote your stuff. I want to give you that opportunity. Mary Jo, you got anything going on?
Mostly, I've been working on a book.
Wow.
So I have although I have a couple stories I'm working on. I'm going to drive up to Phoenix for the Moth on the 29th, live Moth in Phoenix. I'm going to wear a lot extra face masks.
Sure.
And, but mostly I'm just working on the book. Thanks
Working on a book. Working on books not easy. I give you a lot of props to just sitting your ass down and doing it, and in the editing process.
It's hard.
It's hard. Good for you for doing it. I'm trying to think of our next event, and I believe next Sunday we have the Mental Health Happy Hour, which I am very proud of. I love that open mic, mental health centered story. Come and hey, you know what? It's a sweet, kind crowd. Even this scruffy, bald guy, I'm pretty nice.
Yeah, I think it's a great show. It's a great show.
Yeah, no, it's like there's just spaces we want to create for people to share some difficult things sometimes. We need it. Mary Jo, anything else before I announce the 6 finalists?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And remember, these are the 4 section winners, and they were some phenomenal stories. And the 2 that went through, but we're not going to tell you who was which. You're just going to know 6 names. They're going to go back in the Peruvian hat. And this time I don't tell you in advance. I just pick one out at a time and you tell. So get ready. And everybody else, I hope you stick around. Thank you for being here, both tellers and audience. In no particular order, Ronna Levy, Harold Cox, Richard Munchkin, Steph Rogers, Emily Pitts, and Tori Shine. Those are your 6 finalists. They're going back in the hat. As you see, I'm going to mix them up.
Mix it up.
We're going to go back in the Peruvian hat. I hope everybody, listen, as always, phenomenal stories. Proud that you joined us. Appreciate that you joined us. And we'll keep doing these as long as there's people that want to do them and watch them. Right? We'll just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably keep doing it after people want to stop. And we'll just be like, man, I just want the glory days.
Right. We'll just keep doing it. People will keep showing up, and we appreciate that.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. All right. Here we go. I'm going to pick the first name. It's 8:12. We started at 7, but we really started at 7:10. We're going to honor. Hey, 75 minutes. And by the way, I didn't say this. Typically afterwards, we do a sort of salon style Q&A, people on mute. And in that time is a good chance for you to talk a little bit about what you're doing. If you're producing a show or telling a story somewhere, or maybe even like teaching a workshop. Here we go. I don't really need to show you the hat, but I really want people to know that I can't be bought. Excuse me. Venmo. 1 second.
Oh, take a drink. Take a drink. There you go.
When I say I can't be bought, Venmo at Sean Wellington, I mean I can't be bought. Okay. Here we go. Number 1 in round 2, season 5, Emily Pitts. Let's find her, Emily. Second story. Where is she?
Got it.
There she is. All right. Emily, spotlighting you. Take your time.
That year, teaching 5th grade had been unbearably hard. Daily fighting, food insecurity, and most of my students were below grade level. Now, usually Valentine's Day is a good day, but I had thrown out my back 2 weeks earlier and gotten strep throat. And so I just need to get through today, go home to the weekend. As the kids file into class, I greet them individually like I always do. And when I get to Josie near the end of the line and I say, Happy Valentine's Day 2020, she's both a little shocked and surprised, like she's forgotten what day it is. Now, Josie is newer to our school. She was taken away from her mom due to neglect and sent to live with her dad. She never smiles, nothing excites her, and she seems sullen, but I know depression when I see it. So I make my way back to my desk, and the kids have given me gifts, mugs and stuffed animals and chocolates. And once the crowd clears out, Josie comes up to me with a Ziploc bag that's been used before with a Hostess cake and red vines in it. And she hands it to me and she says, Miss Pitts, this is for you. And I know exactly what this is. This is from her lunch, and this is all she has. And I hate red vines, so I accept it enthusiastically. Josie, thank you so much. I love red vines. She gives me one of her radiant smiles, which I've never seen before, and walks back off to her desk. Now, I don't remember most of what happened in the traumatic year that became 2020, but I will always remember Josie and those damn red vines. Boom.
Thank you, Ms. Emily Pitts. Who, by the way, Emily, I'm obsessed with location. Where are you? You told me, I forgot.
I'm in Seattle now.
Where were you before Seattle?
Texas. Last time you saw me, I was in Texas.
Wow. Okay. We had another Texan. Now you're in Seattle. Very cool.
I'm from Seattle.
Got you. And you're in Seattle.
Yeah.
And you're wearing a yellow hat.
Yes.
Just wanted to be clear.
It's not Peruvian, but it is yellow.
Well, that sucks for you. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. And look, Emily just, I love it. She unspotlighted herself. She's doing our job for us. Mary.
Yes.
Here we go.
All right.
Season 5, round 2. We're going to have a champion in about 15 minutes, maybe even 10 if I stop talking. Do you think I could do that?
No.
You know, am I tempted to talk about the Seattle Seahawks? Yes, but will I? No.
No.
Next up, here we go. Mr. Harold Cox. Where are you, Harold? There he is.
He put his hand around my waist and pulled me uncomfortably close to him. And in my ear, he said, "Do you remember what you're supposed to do?" I said, "Yes, I do." Then he said, "Are you ready?" And I distinctly remember saying, "No, I am not." And the next thing I know, we are out of the plane. We are attached to each other as we are doing a tandem skydive jump. It is cold up here as we are barreling through the sky, going from 10,000 feet, 9,000 feet, 8,000 feet. And then fortunately, the parachute opened and he whispered in my ear, "Look out over the landscape." The only thing I could think was, I was not ready to jump. We continued to go down. And then as we got closer to the ground, he said, "Remember to raise your legs." And I did. And then with a soft thump, we landed on the ground and then slid across the ground. And I am nervous. My heart is beating. The blood is racing through me. And the only thing that I can think to say at that very moment is, "Can we do it again?" Boom.
Mr. Harold Cox, he is based in the Boston area. Thank you, Harold. Harold was one of, it happens from time to time, Mary, a storyteller joins us. They didn't have their name in the hat. They're like, you know what? I want to do it. And they just pop their name in and look what happens. He's in the second round. I love it.
Yes.
And Mary did mention Harold's show. So if you can follow up with Harold or Mary about that, I've been to it a couple times. Very cool show.
Very fun.
Let's keep it moving along. Remember, after the winner is announced, we'll have a little hangout salon. We're calling it a grit salon. I don't know what the hell that means, but that's what we're going to do.
I think it's fancy.
I like it. Next up, we're going to Pittsburgh. Tori Shine. There she is. Let me spotlight you. Tori, whenever you're ready, break a leg.
Na 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 na. I get it. It's a beautiful song. But this is the 8th grade talent show. I don't want to play classical music anymore. I am 13 years old now. I want to play something cool. My dad sits down next to me on the piano bench and he writes me a jam. It's this bluesy, jazzy, dirty Little Richard kind of riff. And he says, "Learn this." And I do. And I am so proud of this song. But when I play it for my piano teacher, she's horrified. "It's very sloppy," she tells me. "I would never put that up at one of my recitals." I feel crushed. I walk on stage for the 8th grade talent show, and I start to play for Elise. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I start over. Ba-na-na-na-na. Well, this is really embarrassing. People are staring and they're whispering and this is all part of the act. I kick back the piano bench. I throw the music book on the ground. I put my hands on the keys and I start to jam. And my hands are sliding up and back and forth the keys. I'm hitting all the sharps and all of the flats and all of the notes in between. And I can feel it. This is raw. This is edgy. This is rock and roll, baby. Boom.
Oh, thank you, Tori Shine in Pittsburgh. So, Mary, what did we have? We had Emily, who is from Seattle, lived in Texas for a while. Now she's back in Seattle. We had Harold near you.
Near me.
A neighbor of yours, a friend of yours, perhaps.
Both.
Yeah, I might have been awkward if he's not. I just make things awkward, which I do very well, I think.
See,
that's my superpower. I found my superpower, finally.
Look, it happened in an hour. Damn.
Oh my God. And of course, Tori Shine, who has also bounced around, but she's now hanging out for a while in Pittsburgh. Let's go on to our final 3 storytellers of round 2, season 5. And of course, I want to just keep thanking our tellers and our audience members and you, Mary, and of course, Mary Jo Pollack, for joining and for just doing what you do.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right, here we go. Next up, Ms. Ronna Levy in Brooklyn. Let's find Ronna. All right, Ronna, break a leg. Up. Yeah, Ronna. There you go.
It's winter and I'm curled up on the couch and I'm watching American Idol. And my 11-year-old Yorkie tries to jump up, but he misses. There are 3 steps in my lobby and he stops. My good friend has a 15-year-old Yorkie and she says it's cataracts, it's no big deal. But the ophthalmologist says he has a rare disease called sudden acquired retinal degenerative syndrome, and he will be fully blind within 2 weeks. Max wakes up in the middle of the night and he cries. I have to put him in front of his food dish. He's traumatized. He just sits there so sad and helpless. I put him on Prozac and we both take Xanax. I try to imagine what it's like waking up into total darkness, and it's terrifying. I mean, I wish I could tell Max what's going on. And I got him when he was 6 months old, and I got him shortly after my boyfriend died. And he has been my companion for 11 years. I don't know what to do, but just hold him and make him feel safe and loved. And I am so angry because Max did nothing to deserve this. And I just cry every day. In spring, Max is diagnosed with kidney disease. It's a blessing. Pretty soon he just stops eating, and it's time. And I think we're both relieved. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Levy. As always. Okay, 4 of 6 done. 2 more to go. Another great evening. And want to mention a couple things before we go on to our 5th of 6 storytellers. If we have a tiebreaker, there's a tie for first, whether that's 2 people or 3 people, we're going to launch another poll like we did tonight.
Right.
I don't know if we've done that before.
We have.
And then if there's another tie after that, then we have co-winners. Okay. So we're going to launch another poll if there's a tie. And then after that, co-winners, and they'll split the money. If I was a better human being, they would both win 99, but I'm not. That's not my superpower at all.
No,
Okay.
just cross that right off the list.
No, it's just simply not. I wish it were, but at this point in my life, I have to accept what is. Next up, live from Chicago, Illinois. She's the founder. You know what? She'll talk about that later. I hope she's still with us. I haven't seen her in a while. She's been.
I'm right here. I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hang on. She's spotlighted herself. That's when you know you.
Did I? Oh, I
know. No, Mary might have done it. It's all good. Steph, take your time, and whenever you're ready, break a leg, young lady.
How many seconds do we have?
Oh, stop.
Okay. I have been a miserable wedding singer in orchestras for well over 10 years. I wanted to be a movie star. I'm a wedding singer. And every weekend I watch these band leaders as they talk to the brides and the grooms, and they call out the tunes and they schmooze the crowd. And I think, I could do that and make more money, but I have no experience leading an orchestra. In fact, I don't even know how to read music, but I don't care. I start a wedding band and I watch some YouTubes, and one of them says a good band leader always knows their tempos. So I learn all of my tempos. But the first dance at this wedding is sung by a male singer, and I have to count it off, and I didn't learn his tempos. So I started off all wrong, which means that I turned this lovely, beautiful Billy Joel ballad, da-na-na-na-na-na, into like a Green Day song, bum, 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 bum. And I don't even realize it until the bride and the groom are there staring at me. They stop dancing and they are glaring. So I quickly segue into another song, and I just like pretend that nothing just happened. But inside, I am devastated because I tried to fake my way through this. And I do that a lot. I exaggerate my potential. I pretend I know what I'm doing when I don't. And it makes me feel like shit. And the rest of the night was pretty fun. The dance floor was packed, but all I can think about is my huge fuck up. I know I'm not a great band leader. I'm not that great at a lot of things that I think I am or that I can do. But this experience has taught me to at least learn to be a more authentic human being and to try to stop faking it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rogers, in your sort of cryptically dark home. Thank you.
It got darker as the day progressed.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't. It's not life. Life's like that. It's not just like a box of chocolates. There's some other things.
Sure.
Okay. One more storyteller, and he knows who he is. I don't necessarily need to say his name because he knows process of elimination. We are going to find Mr. Richard Munchkin in the great state of Nevada. There he is. He's waving his hands. All right, Richard, you are our final storyteller this evening. Break a leg, sir. Go.
I'm standing on the edge of a soccer field, and my son is 8 years old, and the kids are playing, and some of them are watching birds and picking their nose. And I notice a father down the field, and he is yelling at the referee, and he's arguing about some rule that I don't even understand. And I'm thinking, like, calm down. They're 8 years old. My God. But the next year, my son decides he likes basketball better. So now I'm in a gymnasium, and the kids are running around, and they can't play at all, but they're having a great time trying to shoot the ball. And again, there's a dad, and he's yelling at the ref, and the ref turns around and says, if you don't stop, I'm going to have you ejected from the game. And I'm laughing, and I'm thinking, imagine getting ejected from a basketball game full of 9-year-olds. But now he keeps going, and they eject this guy, and he cannot come to any more basketball games. And now my son gets recruited for a club team, and now it's more serious, and these kids can play, and my son is tall for his age, so he's the center, and every time he gets the ball, they grab him by the arm, and I'm yelling at the ref like they're fouling him. They're not calling any fouls. And I said, they're fouling him. And the ref looks at me and rolls his eyes. And my son comes out of the game and looks at me and goes, Dad. And I realize, oh shit, I've become exactly the father I despise. Boom.
Mr. Munchkin closing out season 5, slam number 1. Mary, I have got good news.
Do you?
I do. Before I ask you to blurb away, which you are world class at, I want to let everybody know Fridays at 3 p.m. we have something called the Swap Shop. The name doesn't matter. Group of people get together for 2 hours and we give and get feedback. And what I'd like to believe is in a friendly way, a useful way, a helpful way. So if you ever want help with any story, whether it's 99 or longer, generally personal narrative, we don't typically do the other stuff, though. Those are amazing stories. It's just not our jam as much. Let me know. Shoot me a message. I'd love to invite you. Come anytime you want. I'll give you the link. It's a good time. Some people here this evening are part of that. So,
yes.
And that also applies to you, Mary.
I know.
Just so you know. All right. That's an open invitation. We have got 6 people, 6 blurbs. I am ready. Here we go.
All right. So Emily is always going to remember Josie, even though she still hates red vines, but was very grateful that she gave her part of her lunch for Valentine's Day. Harold's tandem skydiving, and he was not ready to jump when it happened, but then he asked, can we go again? Tori kicked back the piano stool to play the fun jam that her teacher said I would never put that in the show, but she followed her own instinct. Rona had the trouble of being a pet parent when she realized that she had to let Max go, and both of them were relieved when it finally happened. Steph wants to be more authentic for all of her talents instead of faking it. So sometimes some people start things that are new, like a wedding band, and don't always come out of the gate strong. And Richard Munchkin turned into the father that he despised when he was yelling at the ref at his son's basketball game.
All right. I think I've got it down. I'm going to save it, which means I can launch it. And this is our final poll this evening. And again, we will have a winner, and you can hang out after if you want. And if there's a tie, we'll launch another poll. If there's a tie after that, we've got multiple winners. Here we go. Thanks again, y'all, for joining, for telling, for supporting, and all you do. Emily, Harold, Tori, Ronna, Steph, and Richard. 32 people can vote. I hope you all do.
Do it.
We have 1 minute of voting. So if you're on the pod, maybe you can get back in time. Please only vote if you heard all the stories.
Right.
And that is that. It is going to be close. It looks like a 3-person race.
It does.
2 more people can vote, and it will make a difference. Please vote. We're going to go for 30 more seconds, which will make a full minute. Right now, it is 1 person is in first by one, and then the next person is in second by one. It can make a difference. It is now really close. There is one person in first by one, two people in second by one, and one person hasn't voted. If you're there, vote.
Please.
If not, we do have a winner
Yes.
by one vote.
Yeah.
By one freaking vote. How much longer should we do this? I'm going to let you call that, Mary.
I think we should call it. I do. I think we should call it.
All right. I just want to make sure. I'm going to find Mary Jo. I want to make Mary Jo make sure. Mary Jo, can you see? Don't say it right now, Mary Jo. Give me a thumbs up that you can see the winner. Thumb is up. Poll is ending. And Mary Jo Pollack. This is what we've done. This has become a tradition to some degree. Our guest judge announces the winner. Mary Jo Pollack is going to announce the winner. Are you ready, Mary Jo? Drum roll, please. What do you got, Mary Jo?
It is Mr. Harold Cox. Congratulations, Harold.
There it is, folks. Harold Cox, the man who joined the slam last minute from Boston, cool as a cucumber. I don't know what that actually means. Joins us, tells a story in round one, advances to round two, has some stiff competition, takes home the crown. He's a first-time 99-second story slam winner. Harold, I'm going to do this super awkward thing because this is my superpower. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Do you have anything to say, sir?
Wow, this was fun. Thank you.
Awesome.
And I'm also from Texas.
Damn, Texas is representing this evening.
Yes.
To our audience and our tellers, and of course, Mary Jo, thank you so much. Another lovely Sunday evening, another great 99-second story slam. In just a moment, I'm going to stop the live and stop the recording, and then we can just chill and talk. And but if this is the time that you want to leave, I genuinely thank you for being here. And Nanu, as Mork from Ork. Yes, Kurt. Yes, let us do Nanu. Thank you for joining, and have a lovely evening. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.